I hear my dad up in heaven saying, "Don't sweat the small stuff, son. Just get on there and do what you do best." It is 7:03. Thursday Night Live is on a device somewhere near you, and if it's not near you, then go get near that device. Anyway, Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, is with us tonight. Always a pleasure to have Jen.
Hi.
William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab, who gets us more votes, more watch, more views anywhere on the internet than anybody else. When he's linked with us, we're live on my profile on Facebook with a profile. We'll be live in 28 groups in Facebook momentarily. We're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel with a live chat. And as I said, we're live at Boogie WT Bull. If you follow me over there on X, and it's typical open discussions broadcast, whatever comes out of our mouths, as well as the two things that are always planned. It's Thursday night Biden bashing night, and I've declared a Biden bashing season on Boogie with the Bull until we understand exactly what he's going to do, or he does something to let us know that he's either not going to step down. I personally hope he steps down as the nominee. I don't want to see him step down as president, because if he steps down as president, regardless of who the nominee is, that puts Kamala Harris in between now and the election. And I just don't want to see that happen. Even if she's not the nominee, I just don't want to see it happen. Randy Rhodes joined us from All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy Services. We'll talk about that as we go through the broadcast. And right now, I'm going to turn it over to Ray, who will respond to all the stuff that just came out of my mouth, because you were here first.
Okay.
So you're going to go first, then Jen will go, then Randy will go, and by then it'll probably be 8:30, and it'll be time for us all to go. So good evening, people.
Good evening, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Good evening, Jen. Good evening, Randy.
Good morning. Good evening.
I'm looking forward to a great show. I believe we have some TikTokers in the house this evening. We got Facebook. We got X. Let's talk some actual and factual.
All right. Let's see. David Navarre, Dr. David Navarre is in the live chat watching. Make sure you click that star and help Brother Ray do the wonderful things he does with the Patriots Lab Ministry. That's what I would call it tonight, the Patriots Lab Ministry. Please make sure you do that. Dr. Craig Peterson is also in the house. Thank you, Craig. Always a pleasure when you watch. And right now, I kind of set the mood for what we would talk about tonight. It's Biden bashing, so that makes it easy. And I did want to say to Ray that I enjoyed watching the one video over the weekend that I can remember was the one of you and the family walking around Washington, D.C., pointing out some of the buildings that you passed, questioning why the fences were going up.
Right.
And then I know you went into the Smithsonian. What I did want to ask is, did you ever find out what the fences were up for?
Yeah, they was doing a 2-block barricade. They was having the summit, the NATO summit.
Oh, okay. All right.
And, did you see Joe Biden greeting those strong world leaders as they walked across the stage, and Papa stood there with his mouth hanging open? I mean,
they let Joe go.
Hey, he stood on his mark, and it was an embarrassing, yet another embarrassing moment in time for America.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to say I posted a video today to the groups. I did it right before I got on here, so you probably didn't see it yet, Dave. But
it was. You.
But yeah, oh wow. Just going along the same line, Biden, he's introducing Vladimir, but it was the one that spells his name wrong. That would be Zelensky. And he said, "Here is President Putin." Then Zelensky gets up there and he goes, "No, I'm the good one. I'm the one that's going to win." Well, things are so bad. We have lost so when I say we, I mean the USA. Our country has lost such confidence in so many of our sponsors and backers, especially the ones that sponsor and back the DNC. And so everyone's in a quandary. The respectable thing to do would be for Joe to step down, and they don't want to run him and they don't want to run Harris. They don't want to fund it. So I guess if you, what do they say? No checky, no worky. If they're not going to get paid, they're not going to work. They're not going to try to run. So just saying, I heard this from some intel. Don't be surprised if for these next 4 months we have this weird council running the country. I don't know who it is. It's terrifying. I know. My son's like, Mom, that's crazy. It's just conspiracy. And I'm like, no, it's not. The backers do not trust him. Nobody trusts him. No one knew it was that bad. And all of the people in his cabinet that said, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. Kamala, oh, Joe's never been sharper. They don't trust her either because she lied to them. That's all I want to say about that.
As we said Tuesday night, I called her Lady Disney only because I don't know her first name, and I really haven't spent any time trying to find it. But she is Roy Disney's granddaughter. Roy
Yes.
is Walt's brother, and evidently she controls the Disney family purse strings, and is a well-known philanthropist of the DNC, and has made it very clear that no money to the DNC for Biden to become reelected. And Jen actually, I think it was, said Tuesday night, matter of fact, it's no money for any Democrat candidate running or running for reelection who endorses Joe.
No confidence, right? Did it to themselves.
Anyway, what do you think, Randy? You joined us.
Well, the Disney family, as a Democrat or Republican or anyone who is in the public eye and has to rely on donations to campaign, to stay in office, I would think twice before taking money from a family member or a company that openly supports pedophilia and the whole transgender way of life. I mean, by accepting their money, that means you accept what they support. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want that dirty money anywhere near my body. I'd be afraid where it might have been. As far as dear old Joe, I've seen Alzheimer's and dementia up front with my mother-in-law, my wife's mother. Okay. And she had about 5 years before she died. And Biden has it in spades. Okay. By the way he acts, the way he talks, the way he walks, and his personality, where he's angry or he talks quiet. The problem with him backing out of the run for presidency is that they can't do it right now, because they do it now, that means Kamala steps in as president. I mean, there's even comments. I'll get that later. But if he steps down now, let's say the 25th Amendment's used because you're sick, you need to go home and stay there. Kamala's what their choice is, and the Democrats are more concerned about are as equally concerned about her as they are about Biden. So they have to. So they have to try and stay in the fight until they get to where they actually give the votes to the Democrat that's going to run for president against Trump. Once they get that point, then they can switch him out.
Okay, hang on for a second, Randy. Let's go to William. He had something he wanted to say. At least it looked like you were moving your head.
The top Democratic leadership has already called for Biden to get out of here. I mean, it doesn't take everybody. I mean, once you get people that are making no comments, the people that was his staunchest supporters that were normally 99.9% of the time saying, Joe, 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 now saying, well, it's up to him. You know that they want him to go. Chuck Schumer has came out publicly and said it's time for him to go. Other Democrats have came out publicly. Hakeem Jeffries have come out and said it's time for Joe to make the decision to step down. The point is, with everything you mentioned with his dementia and everything going on, he is defiant. He is now that old man who refuses to give up the car keys to his grandkids. When they say, Granddad, we going to the store, we going to drive. Granddad's like, I'm driving. It's my car. I'm driving. So they've led Joe Biden to this point just to try and eliminate him. And neither him or Dr. Jill Biden, see, now she's standing on that. She's showing you what type of doctor she really is, because she balling her ass off. They ain't going nowhere. So, like I was telling Dave behind the scenes, we once again find themselves in a pickle because they want him out. It's already the mainstream media, Chuck Todd, everybody.
Scarborough. Joe Scarborough.
No, the little short dude. He was interviewing Joe Biden, and then TMZ went and interviewed him, and he was like, "Yeah, Joe got to go."
Snuffleupagus.
Little dude. I forgot his name, but yeah, they
Harvey Lennon. Harvey Lennon, the guy that owns TMZ. No. Okay.
It's a long S word. His last name.
George
Stopolopoulos. Yeah, they caught him jogging through the park in New York, and they was like, so what do you think? He was like, man, Joe's got to go. He's got to step down. See, everybody's got the memo. Joe's got to go, except Joe. Because Joe know what his people are about. Joe's like, nah. I told a black man on national TV, if you ain't black, you must not know if you black. If you think I'm going to let y'all just tell me to go kick rocks? Oh, no, me and Jill, we come to stay. And my crackhead son. That's why I got him in the meetings. Y'all ain't bullying me. Hunter, get your ass in these classified meetings up here. No, y'all ain't getting on Sleepy Joe by himself. No, hell no. Come on, Joe. Come on, Hunter. You come in these meetings, I don't care what they say. I know you're not supposed to be in here, you felon. I know. Come on in here, these classified meetings taking place. They trying to get me by myself so they can bully me behind closed doors, you see. And that's where we're at right now. So, like I told Dave, I don't know if they're going to convince Jill to give him that last dose of ice cream.
Oh, gosh.
Or if somehow these people are going to invoke the 25th Amendment, because Nancy Pelosi spoke of it. They didn't have to use it then, but she told you why they would use it and the intentions for it. And like Dave said, it wasn't meant for Trump. But why even bring it up? Because they knew.
She could have been lying. Obviously, she could have been lying. I don't think she wanted to use it against Trump, because I think she wanted an impeachment against Trump. She wanted him kicked out.
There ain't no way in hell half the country seen this man the way he was 2 years ago, and they didn't see it. They seen it. You think it just flipped a switch? No, they seen it.
No.
They like, damn, we at the end of the rope with Joe. That's it. That's common sense. That's actual and factual. He can't carry.
But like I said in the green room, I think Nancy may have lied about maybe having to use it on Trump, only because I was led to believe, and maybe I'm wrong, that Nancy wanted an impeachment that would force Trump to step down as president, because that would be more disgraceful than using the 25th Amendment.
No, before they use the 25th Amendment, you got to give them a cognitive test anyway by an independent doctor. So they getting ready to give Sleepy Joe a cognitive. They getting ready to throw his ass out there and say, "Yep, go take it, Joe. You ain't got no choice. We ain't got your back. Take it, Joe." And they're gonna put him in a position where they say, if you don't take it, you can't be president, which is gonna put him in a conundrum, because he takes it, he's not president. He don't take it, he's not president. See, they're gonna find a way to get his ass out of there, because they know he is not going to win. I've been listening to these Democratic pundits that have finally had a dose of reality, and I love watching them squirm in their chairs. I love watching people panic. I know what panic people look like.
Wow. They're going to have to remove him. That was a good point. He's doomed if he does, doomed if he doesn't take the test. He's got to. They're going to remove him. That's how. Nobody likes Kamala either. I mean, I don't think she's even fit to be vice president. Doesn't she have to be a natural born citizen? She didn't have a hodgepodge birth certificate like Obama did. Does she?
No, well, she has a birth certificate that says she was born in Oakland, California. That's where she grew up. That's the Senate seat that she served before she became vice president. But then again, I was going to say that you said hodgepodge birth certificate, and it could be as hodgepodge as
I don't like people.
Joe Biden's boss.
I don't like to let people get too far out there ahead of themselves.
Okay, go ahead, Ray.
It's somehow I've been repeating this shit all day, every day. Listen, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. I really do. Listen, we have to stay focused on the game. The players are interchangeable. They don't care what you think about who's sitting where, in what seat, sitting how, as long as the game goes on. So if it's Kamala, people gonna be happy, people gonna be upset. If it's not Kamala, people gonna be happy, people gonna be upset. They already know this shit. They don't care. They're desperate, just trying to figure out who. They know they're gonna piss off people regardless on whatever side. They don't care about that. They just want to do whatever it takes to make sure their so-called well-oiled machine keeps them moving. We gotta get focused off these players. Let them bring in a new player off the bench, and then we D their ass up. D-Day, play defense on them. We got D their ass up. We know Camilla ain't got no jump shot. We know she ain't shit. We know we just got. Come on, coach, let her in the game. All right, get her, D up on her. Next, because that's just how they roll. That's how
a good
they roll.
Point.
Man.
Good point.
A desperate coach will put in the water boy if his team ain't doing good. So we don't know what the hell they liable to do. They liable to go. Bill, how many times you run, Bill? How old are you, son? I mean, America loves you, Bill. Will you do it? I mean, they liable to.
I've heard they're even talking about bringing
Michael
Barack
Jordan.
Obama in as vice president and running Joe. Obama, because they think he can serve as vice president. But the problem is, you can serve as vice president, but if you served any time as president and didn't complete 8 years, then you only have what's left of that 8 years to serve, which is why they would never bring a vice president. Why they would never bring a president back as vice president, because if you serve 2 terms, you can't be president again. And if you only serve 1 term, then you can only serve 1 term.
They cannot bring back Barack Obama. With 3/4 of America already thinking Barack Obama has already won fucking everything up by Joe Biden, they can't bring him in. They definitely can't bring back the hot sauce lady. They cannot rehash old wounds and memories.
Right.
They can't give Trump some shit to talk about that he's talked about before. They got to bring out somebody. See, that's where these prosecutions of him went wrong. Everybody that tried to prosecute Trump got dirt on them, so shit got derailed and focus went away from Trump and went on their ass. It ain't my fault. If they would have got some people that was squeaky clean, shit would have went the way it was supposed to go. Somewhat, because they would have still had to get to the court system. But
Now, something
these people don't care. They might call you, Dave.
I don't think so.
They might call you and say, Dave.
I don't. Well, they might call me only because I got dementia, and they'll think that I know what Joe's going through, so that I could be the president. But no, what I did want to remind people today is that today is July 11th, 2024, which is the day that Judge Merchan over there in Manhattan, New York, was supposed to lower the boom on Donald Trump. But thanks to the Supreme Court immunity decision, it don't look like that's going to happen. And by the time, I guess what happens now is Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has to go through all of these 34 counts and make sure none of it happened while Trump was either a candidate for president or president and covered by immunity. Because if it is, that indictment gets reversed, kicked out, and goes away. And Lord knows when there will be a sentencing or a case dismissal announcement from Judge Merchan. This could take days, weeks, years. You know, they could play it for years. Go ahead, Ray. I just wanted to kick that in because I just happened to look down and realize that today is July 11th.
Where'd Randy go?
I don't know. He left me a message. Let me see.
Dinner
He's having
time?
trouble staying awake. Yep. He's having trouble. He did tell me that he thought that might be a problem.
He's on strong meds.
But so he was going to try to come on and stay as long as he could.
You mean he could fall asleep with my big mouth on here?
Well, he could fall. Well, he could fall asleep with my big mouth going, and we won't talk about that. We won't talk about falling asleep on the air because I'm no longer working at KLIV in San Jose, California, because I held the record for the longest continuous broadcast of a disc jockey being asleep. I hold the record at that station. It was roughly 4.5 hours.
Whoops.
Nothing to be proud of, but
That's funny.
But no. But anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Yeah.
And let me
I
see.
am on TikTok now.
You are on TikTok now. Fantastic. Craig Peterson says that according to the Constitution, we are supposed to vote separately for president and vice president, not a package deal. But I agree with you, Craig. That's probably how it was set up with both parties. But because a president picks a vice president who runs with them, it's sort of a ticket that the vice president becomes president if something happens to the president.
Oh, I guess they changed that too. They changed that.
I personally don't believe that Kamala Harris should get any taste of being president, even if she's the Democrat nominee. She should not get any taste of being president before the election when she learns that she's not going to be president. But go ahead, Ray.
Oh, no, I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, Jen.
Hey, yeah. We're not talking about the players. We're talking about the game. So what do we do to save this republic? What is your piece of the? What I know what Ray's piece of the puzzle is. He keeps us informed. And
Ray's
your
piece of the puzzle is that we invite Joe out for ice cream, and
yeah, we don't talk about that.
That's
yeah.
No. And I want to apologize for saying it that way, because I will be the first one to say that I'm very careful about what I say and how I word things on a broadcast, because I don't want a knock on the door from a 3-letter agency saying, "We understand that you were being sarcastic, but this is what could happen to you for being sarcastic." So go ahead, Jen. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying we just have to pick up our piece of the puzzle. It's
Right.
scary. It really looks like they want to do the special counsel. I don't know who the special counsel is. Nobody does, but this is like military talk. The other scary thing I heard, not to cause any distress, but why are they reinstating the draft? They're going to do that. They're going to reinstate the draft. And I'm thinking of Ray talking about the fencing, and you're saying it was because of NATO conferences or something. Is it? Is it really? Because they're also reinstating the draft. What the heck? And not that this, just to add a little more hot sauce to this mess.
Okay.
Elon Musk, he just signed a thing. He made 2 big purchases to send stuff into space. This is high military stuff into space to a space station, and Boeing is involved. So they made a shuttle, I'm guessing. But I'm like, why are these people doing these things? What are we getting ready for? Or
Okay,
are we
hang on
just
just a second. I can't put this on the screen because Daryl Rector's not coming up on the broadcast screen for me to highlight it. But Daryl Rector says you heard it here. Joe Biden is going to pass the torch to Kamala tonight. So pay attention to your news or watch news that you trust, and you'll see whether or not that happens. I certainly hope not, because if she becomes the acting president as well as their nominee, I think the worst thing to do is to give her any taste of the presidency before she loses to Donald Trump. You know.
Hey, did y'all see the Maxine Waters bad hair day?
No,
I did not.
Okay, Dave, I just sent it to you. Tell me when you got it up there.
All right, hang on. All right, go ahead.
Maxine Waters had us live on air when she had some technical difficulties with her wig.
Democracy about the fate of the election, and yet Trump is not only winning, but winning by a larger margin. So what is the plan among Democrats to change that trajectory? It sounds like you're talking about saying and doing all the same things, but do you believe that something needs to change?
So there you have a crackhead. There you got a crackhead in action right there. Mama can't get a weave right. Mama, don't you know you're supposed to pay people to do that type of shit before you even step your ass out on the studio floor, girl. That's a ghetto move if I ever seen one. Right?
You wear a short hair wig, or you wear a hat, so that you don't have to.
She just woke up in the morning and threw that shit on. She ain't put no bobby pins in there. Now I know people with weaves. I got some in my. You got to put bobby pins in there to keep the shit stabilized. That shit going to the side looking like a crooked sailor's side cap and stuff.
It was the humidity. Humid day. Yeah.
Too much humidity. The lights were too bright. The lights were too bright.
That's funny.
Craig Peterson puts up again. I gotta highlight this so that I can see it, so I can read it at the same time. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. So that means that Kamala Harris is okay to be, she lives in Washington, D.C. right now because she's the vice president, but if she goes on to becoming the president, she still lives in Washington, D.C., so whoever her vice president is can't live in Washington, D.C., although I don't even know if that's true because Washington, D.C. is not a state.
We don't even know if she's going to even be on the ticket.
Right. I've heard all along for the last couple of years, they don't want her. The real people that actually make the decision within the Democrat Party don't want her because they fear that she is even though she's left like Joe, they think she's extreme left, further left than Joe. And maybe the impression I get is that they don't want
Look,
that
there's
right
one
now.
thing. There's one thing we must understand. Until these people are stopped, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do, however they want to do it.
Yep.
They can. If don't nobody stop them and they want to make Kamala Harris Queen Elizabeth, damn it, they'll do it. I mean, they will do it. So I'm done sitting here. I understand what the Constitution's supposed to be and what this is supposed to be. Right now, we got to sit back and we got to focus on what is their next move. See, that's what I do. When I know that the other shit is obsolete, I wish I could sit back and say shit should be the way it should be, so it's gonna go the way it should be because the Constitution or the independent, whatever say it's supposed to be the law is the law. Well, damn it, this is a lawless nation right now. So your focus has to stay on, and it's scary, and people say it's fear mongering. No, it's reality. Stay focused on these war maneuvers that's taking place overseas. Stay focused on how these people are going to get out of the situation that they found themselves in. Because guess what, America? That's their priority. I understand, like I've been telling people all day on TikTok, I understand Americans' priorities of Social Security and the border and crime. I understand all that. But until we can put a focus on the disease itself to keep it from spreading, that all that other stuff, like I told people, oh, you're gonna have Social Security, you're gonna have all that shit. It's gonna come with a price. It's gonna come with a price. Oh, you're gonna be free, they free. This ain't about no people. This ain't about Joe Biden. This ain't about Trump. It's about the game. And we can't, as much as it hurts to say, well, I guess that's why they put people in different lanes to do different things. My job is to stay focused on these evil people and their maneuvers so I can try to keep enlightening people on what's to come. Because obviously people can't foresee for some reason. I don't know. It's common sense. It's like it's like A and B equals C. I mean, it's crazy, but you can see it. I guess that's why I can relate to Trump. It's a special, not gift, but I can play chess. I'm a good chess player. But that's why they call Trump a 5D chess master, because he thinks ahead.
I have seen a 5-dimensional chessboard, and I cannot even imagine how a human brain can play one level, let alone 5 levels. And
Wow.
I definitely respect someone who can play 5 levels. And
I mean, I ain't nobody special. I've been talking shit for 8 years, but ain't nobody came back to me and been able to call me a liar about none of the actual and factual I've ever brought. I might have brought it in a different way, but you know what? God gave me a brain. I see what I see. I know what I see.
Right.
I'm streetwise.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I choose to use all of those gifts that God has equipped me with for good.
Right. I remember a show that we did, and you told me the first thing that Trump did when he got in office was knight his queen. Speaking of the 5D chess game, what he set up the knights around the queen to protect her, and the queen is the United States, and the knights are the Supreme Court.
That's right.
Yes. He set up Coney Barrett. He set up Kavanaugh. And did he set up Gorsuch, or was Gorsuch already there? I
He
don't
set up
know.
Gorsuch too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
he
And
set up
so
Gorsuch.
when that ruling came out this morning, was it this morning or yesterday, about the presidential immunity?
Mhm.
That was just beautiful. Wiped away everything. Juan Merchan, his name rhymed. I liked it. Anyways, it wiped out everything he tried to pull on Trump in New York. Is that right in Manhattan? My gosh.
Right.
It was
Right.
insane. Is it going to wash away everything that happened down in Georgia with Fani Willis too?
It,
Well, you
it,
know,
it, it won't necessarily wash away the Georgia case. It will definitely, I think, wash away the 34 felony counts that Alvin is probably no longer bragging about, because most
Right.
of them have presidential immunity. And the reason that Justice Merchan declared he was not going to sentence Trump today was that he expects DA Bragg to take the 34 felony indictments, weigh them through the Supreme Court's immunity decision, and make sure that nothing happened while he was president. And I believe the Supreme Court said if you are a candidate, Trump was a candidate back in 2015. While you're a candidate, the Supreme Court majority seemed to agree that you're the president, or you have the same authority as the president in the Constitution, because that's the office that you're running for. So I would believe that it would tend to throw the whole Manhattan case out, just shut it down, dismiss it. Whether or not Alvin wants to waste more taxpayers' money and decide whether or not he wants to go back to court on it, I doubt it, because I would think at this point even Democrats in New York are going to stand up and go, you know what, we just don't want to waste any more money, Alvin. We just don't want to waste any more tax money on this.
Right.
Georgia, from what I understand, is hanging on the fact that the Georgia State Supreme Court, the way I understand it, said they are not going to move forward with the Georgia Trump election interference case until Fannie's case is
clear.
done and resolved. And what I get out of that is that they're saying that they believe that Fannie broke the law in prosecuting that case against Trump, and there's a very good chance that based on what happens to Fannie in whatever state or whatever court she's in Georgia, the Georgia State Supreme Court is just going to throw out the Trump election interference case.
I see.
Now I'm going to cut to my brother, Actual and Factual, who's going to kind of summarize what I said.
Yeah. Because you confused a lot of people just now. You confused a lot of people. The actual and factual it is, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. I don't know how many times I got to say it. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we got different scenarios we can look at. Trump makes the presidency, wins, all this goes away. Other than that, everything has to get to the Supreme Court to make that ultimate decision. Right now, the only thing we're going to have is ping pong being played back. As long as Trump is not president, we're going to have ping pong being played with these Democrats in all of these court situations. So I don't know what's going to happen. Is the Fannie Willis shit going to get thrown out? I don't know. I mean, we know they did a lot of corrupt shit, but damn, look at all the corrupt people that are still walking around. I mean, so I don't know. Once again, we find ourselves in no man's land. So I'm not going to say what's supposed to happen. I know what should happen.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't know, because these people just ain't going to, they just ain't going to give, they just ain't going to throw in the towel. You see, they trying to replace Papa. I mean, they trying to They bringing in a relief pitcher. They bringing in a new arm, a fresh arm. They ready to go extra innings with this thing if they got to.
Yeah.
They ain't ready to throw in the towel.
Well, they
So-
need Joe. They don't want to throw in the towel. They need Joe more than ever right now. They need a guy who's just going to either get out of the way because he's sleeping and let them do what needs to be
I'll tell
done,
you,
or listen. Go ahead, Ray.
23 out of the 24 hours of the day is focused on how the hell can we get rid of this old man? How can we do it in such a way that it won't come back on us too much? If we take them out, they're gonna know it was us.
Well,
We can't do that. You
Well,
have to.
go ahead.
Okay, it's like you approaching a fence and it's got a guard dog. Right now, these people, they're the guard dogs over Joe Biden. And when you see a guard dog and you walk up to the fence, one thing you see that instantaneously makes you understand you don't go that direction. When you see him standing there with the foam around the mouth, right now these Democrats got foam around the mouth with Joe,
Right.
and they are looking for a way to get this man out the picture. They are
Wouldn't the
chomping
easiest-
at the bit.
But Ray, wouldn't the easiest way be if there are enough Democrats to team with the House Republican majority and enough Republicans to team with the Democrats who don't want Joe, the Senate Democrats who don't want Joe either? Wouldn't the easiest thing to be just for the Congress to go into emergency sessions and pass an impeachment? Just immediately, let Marjorie Taylor Greene stand up and drop articles of impeachment and pick a Democrat in the House. Because Chuck Schumer doesn't want him. He's the Senate Majority Leader. Let him drop a bill on an impeachment bill on the desk, and they just they vote. They stay all night, and tomorrow morning at 6:00 we read that Kamala Harris is now the president of the United States.
Listen, the only way they can make Joe Biden, they chose him. There's no getting rid of him. That's what they've chosen him. There's no getting rid of him. The only way to get rid of a sitting president is to invoke the 25th.
Or impeach him.
His people aren't going to impeach him. We're not talking hypotheticals here. They're not going to impeach him. They're not going to.
No, I think what Daryl said was.
Do you know all the shit Joe Biden and Jill Biden have on these people? See,
I'm
you got to
sure
be
they
able to
have.
focus on. You got to be able to focus on more than one or two things at the same time. You got to focus on all the different scenarios that make up a situation. Before we know, Joe and Jill could be blackmailing them. There's a difference between them wanting him to step down and Joe deciding to step down.
Right.
Big difference. They want him gone, but they know the only way they can make him go is to invoke the 25th Amendment. And until that happens,
maybe it will tonight, because I don't know what
well, that's what they say. They say they're putting him out there to commit political suicide once again. They said the first time didn't work good enough.
Well, Daryl Richter is the one who said he has intel. He knows stuff.
Well, I'm sure. Well, if you
She'll be sworn
evidently
in.
there is a Biden press conference going on right now on ABC and I believe on CNN. If you want to watch it, but Daryl did say that he was going to step down. But who knows? I mean, maybe that's something that they just said to get him to watch. I'm not going to
Oh
put
no, they did say something that made sense though.
right.
If they gave Joe $500 million, I think he might think about stepping down.
Wow.
If they gave him $500 million,
Yeah.
I think he probably step down because then he'd be thinking about his family and all that shit. So there are all type of scenarios that could
Right,
take.
and
That's why I don't know.
they have to make it palatable to the
Yeah.
American people. You can't
Yes.
just take him out and say, "Oh, he didn't pass the test. He's got to go."
And we damn sure can't wake up tomorrow morning. Oh, President Biden passed away in his sleep last night. Everybody be
Oh
like,
my
Jill,
God.
Jill. We knew it, Dr. Evilstein. We knew
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, we knew it, Dr. Evilstein, the monster you created, you doctor, you.
That's so
Hey,
funny.
I don't know.
hey, look, if she's a doctor, I think she could have found a way to maintain his
okay.
health a little bit better.
Yeah.
She,
No,
she's not a medical doctor.
she has a
Well,
She's
for
PhD.
him,
a
in the-
teaching doctor. She has
Yeah,
a
in
doctorate in
education.
education, and she's a professor, for lack of putting it better.
That sounds
It's
better
not like
than
she's
doctor.
I mean, but that doesn't mean that she can't go to Google and start typing in and looking for type in how do you take care
You
of the
can't.
president, and
No.
for what ingredients go in the best ice cream sundae.
Arsenic. No, I'm kidding. It's terrible.
Okay, but I mean, I if anyone is interested, like I said, the press conference is on ABC News, so you can go to ABC News somehow and watch it if you want. If the plan was that he's going to resign tonight in front of reporters and turn it over to Kamala Harris, then that's probably what he's going to do. If he lied and just wanted to get people to watch, then that's not what he's going to do. If we wake up tomorrow morning and Kamala Harris is the president.
Now, out of
I
curiosity,
hope Democrats vote for Trump.
let's say that happens. Would that make Mike Johnson the
No.
new VP?
No,
No, because he still has to be third in line.
I don't understand how he's third in line because the VP would become the president. So
Right.
the president, as president, she'd get to pick another VP.
Gavin Newsom.
Oh,
Yeah, I would imagine that
wow.
assuming the actual factual really is, the Democrats do not want to run Kamala Harris in November. So they get Joe to leave, whatever they had to do, $500 million, a lifetime supply of ice cream, who knows, who cares. They get Joe to step down, and that's what he's going to do in this press conference tonight, let's say. She becomes president. The person that they want. You say you got to go, Ray?
Yes, sir. I got to run.
All right.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You only got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can wait.
Okay. Well, I was going to say I would imagine that the vice president, they will push a vice president on her, and the vice president that they push on her is going to be the person they would hope they would have ran for president if she didn't stick her nose in this and get all stuck up in it and say that if he leaves, I'm the president and I'm going to become the nominee. So Gavin Newsom, I would think, becomes the vice president, or they go one further and they just make Gavin Newsom.
They can't jump.
Well, she
like
becomes
that.
the president from now until January 25th, when the next president, when the 47th is inaugurated. And
this is the situation that Democrats find themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
They have no leadership. They find themselves abandoned by leadership.
Right.
Because the people that are leading them, and they're not even leading them. The majority of good-hearted Democrats, like myself that used to be, and others that are still, are stuck on the sidelines of how they can run their party. It has been hijacked by the elite, and the elite is not any one leader.
Right.
The elite is a global entity of corporations that don't give a damn about a human life. Because, like I was explaining to somebody, the people that are really calling the shots, they have the money. They don't give a damn about a human life. Just look at what they're doing to Trump. Look at what they're getting ready to do to Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is getting ready to show America that he has fight in him. Unfortunately, it wasn't against our adversaries. It's getting ready to be against the people that are trying to push him out. Because when you've been doing something such a long time, you be damned. You go out on your own terms. That's anything. That's anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this is going to go. I really don't. The only thing I know for sure is they want Joe gone, and Joe and the hoe won't go. Oh, did I say that? Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Oh yeah,
Ho,
not
ho,
Christmas yet, not till December, but yeah.
ho. So
That's
man,
I
we're in it.
still think now more than ever, my favorite all-time meme that Jen Woodruff made was she put up the meme and it was captioned this, and it was Trump Force One parked on the Rose Garden
in front of
the behind the White House, and she said caption this, and I said that Biden won't give. Trump won't give Biden the keys to the White House, so he's living on. So Trump
running
is
his office in the
his office is now the jet.
in the jet. That's cool. Yeah.
His office is
Who
now the jet.
knows? That would be awesome.
You could very well see that. But then again, like Jen said Tuesday, there's a sergeant at arms that can walk in and just take him right out of there. Now, granted, his Secret Service team isn't going to just stand by and let them walk in and take him out in cuffs, but I mean,
It's
maybe
not.
they will,
Yeah.
but
It's got to be. It's a show.
It's
got
not
to
going
be
to happen.
palatable. It's got to be palatable to the
Right.
television, so we can see it and accept it and say, "Oh, is that what happened?"
Hey,
I would think they just do it in the middle of the night in the dark.
I gotta go. I gotta
Okay.
go. I love the show. Love
Bye.
being
All
on
right,
here.
Ray.
Good to see you, Ray.
All right, Ray.
I will
Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, Ray, if you're around, Red Friday, because Bill Muckler is gone for the month of August. So if you're around, you're more than welcome to join us. And if you're not, then you will be missed.
Okay, I will try and see if I can make it. I appreciate the invite. Everybody have a good night.
All right,
Till
Ray.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Ray. Let's see. Yep, there he is. Okay. The nice thing when he leaves the Patriots Lab Network. So we're all over the place on the Patriots Lab platform. I know Ray said he did start on TikTok today. So
Nice.
if anyone is seeing us over on TikTok, good evening to you. And the rest of the world that's watching us here on my profile on Facebook, 22 groups tonight.
Great.
We do have 100 people watching right now, which is actually really good for a Thursday night.
Awesome.
Thursday night broadcast. I hope you are being amused, entertained, learning something at the same time. And what else, Jen?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm just shocked. I want to see if he's really going to step down and if Kamala's going to take over. And Wow.
Do we want to do this? Because I'd kind of like to watch it too. It's coming up on 8 o'clock, so
Yeah.
we lose a half an hour. But I think this is more important. I think everybody should, the 100 of you that are watching me on Facebook, and who knows the numbers that are watching everywhere else we are. So it's probably more important. Go turn on ABC News and watch this and see how this plays out. Then tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
on Red Friday morning caffeine.
Corinne Jean-Pierre stumbling over
she's
her
probably
words.
long gone. Well, no, she's probably long gone.
She won't be commenting on this if that
No,
happens.
they probably cleared her. They probably made her clear her office out. She's probably at Gitmo.
Oh gosh.
Or somewhere, somewhere safe out of the White House, because they would just tell her that we want the least people that need to be in the White House, so this can be done. But I heard rumors supposedly that they've already moved out. They've already moved out. Yeah, supposedly they've got three very nice homes,
right,
throughout Delaware. So I mean, it's not like they don't have a place to go. I'm sure there's still things. There's still things that have to get moved, but pretty much, he's, from what I understand, he has in, packing him up and telling him he's now living in Delaware. From what I understand, that's already been done. But,
wow. Okay. Well, let's watch ABC.
Yeah, I'll go watch it on
popcorn.
ABC.
Yeah, I'll start the popcorn and go watch ABC.
All right, Jen. Take care.
You too. Bye, Dave.
All right. Always a pleasure to have Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling. I tell you, if you're thinking about homeschooling, Jen's a smart person to talk to. Catch William Rayfield whenever he is on. It's 8 o'clock straight up. I got to do something really quick, so I'm pretty much going to say you're watching Boogie with the Bull Thursday night live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We may have violated somebody's copyright in the clip that we showed earlier. According to people that are much smarter than me, we used it as fair use, so I don't believe they will take any action against us. And if they do, Facebook will probably just slap me with a couple of hours restrictions where I can't do anything on Facebook except write on my own profile for an hour. Anyway, I did want to say before we go, join some groups that you see on Facebook. Stand with Trump is almost up to 1,000 members, and that's the goal right now, to get 1,000 members before the election. Red Patriots for America is trucking along. It's in the upper 500. I think it actually broke 600 today, and we're trying to get that up to 1,500 members before the election. Join Donald Trump with a flag that has Donald Trump imprinted on it. It's a private group, it has 3,500 members in it, and it's going strong, getting members to join too. Art Sessa, who is the group owner admin of Conservative Freedom Defenders, is now part of Stand with Trump and Donald Trump group. We're very happy to have him helping us out, and just try to do whatever we can to keep the conservative viewpoint loud and clear here on Facebook. Anyway, I got to do something really quick. Okay, and on that note, I'm going to bed in about an hour after I see what's going on ABC News. Go to ABC News right now, and watch tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on my profile, 28 groups on Facebook, Believable YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Street Lock, both with Believable YouTube channel live chats. And if you follow me on X at BoogieWTBull, there is no live chat there. So just watch it, and or come to Facebook and watch it, or go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and watch it there. Barbara Amons, glad to see you here, and I'm glad you enjoyed the broadcast. Jan O'Malley, my buddy, watch and says good show as always. Chuck Cook said if he steps down, he will be Clinton-sized within 10 days. As you said, he has so much dirt on too many. I was thinking about that, but I hate hinting that there might be a Clinton name, just because. But I will say that he's probably got more information on her from when she was a senator, because he was in the Senate back then. So, yeah, it could get kind of ugly. I'm not going to predict any of that because, like I said, when you start talking about things like that and going off in those theories, you never know who's going to knock on the door, and I don't need that. Nobody needs that. So tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. On the Dave Globin profile on Facebook and the rest of the places, you'll see the promos before we go live. We'll talk about what happened tonight. Go to ABC News and watch it there. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. One more time.